Hello everyone. In today's tutorial, we see how to create an awesome double exposure animation or cinemagraph using Adobe Photoshop. So let's get to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and open Photoshop and then take the image you will be using. And now the first thing that we are going to do is to cut the model from the background. So I will be using the quick selection tool to do that. And I will try to make a selection. So just try to cover all the areas in here. And now I'm going to open the selection mask and I will try to improve the hair selection. As you can see, we don't have a really good selection for the hair. But first I will make sure that Smart Radius is on. And I will try to improve the hair selection or bring back some of the hair that we didn't select. Alright, and I will do the same for the beard. Now in this radius in here, I will put 39 pixels. And this will improve it even more, and I will press OK. Now we apply a layer mask on this selection by one click on this layer mask icon. And as you can see, we have a layer mask in here. Now I'm going to press Alt or Option and I will one click on this layer mask. So I would switch to my burn tool in here, and in the range I will put shadow, and for the exposure I will put around 40% to 50%. And I will start getting rid of these gray areas in here, as you can see, just like this. Now I will switch to the dodge tool. And I will do the same, but this time I will make sure that the range set to highlights and the exposure set to 50% to 40%. And I will go this time to the white area in here, and I will get rid of this gray areas that we have. And now we can exit from the layer mask by one click on this layer in here. Now we have our selection. And now I'm going to create a new file. So we'll go to File, New, and I will put 1920 for the width, 1080 for the height, 300 in resolution, and RGB in color mode. And of course you can choose whatever width and height you want, you can do that. And I will press OK. Now I will switch to my Move tool, and then I will go and drag this image and open it in here. Now we'll zoom out and I will press Ctrl T or Command T. And then I'm going to press Shift Alt or Shift Option on a Mac. They will center it just right here. And then I would want to click on this check mark. Alright, now I'm going to create a new background. So I will select this background in here that it's white. And I will go to Adjustments and I will choose Solid Color, and I will be using a gray color. Alright, now I'm going to open the video file that I will be using, which is this one. And of course you can find it down in the link from description below. Just download this if you want to follow along. And I will just take it and open it in here, and it will open as a smart object, and that's what we want. And then I'm gonna copy the same layer mask that we have in this one. So to do that, I will press Alt or Option on my keyboard. And I will one click on it and drag it to this video file that we have in here. As you can see, there is a little bit of preview of the layer mask. Now I'm going to unlink this chain that we have in between the video file in here and the layer mask. So I'm going to select it and I will press Ctrl T or Command T and I will make it bigger. And of course you can use whatever video you want or whatever position you want for this video. But if you want to use the same as I'm using with the same idea I'm doing now, you can do that. Alright, I think this will look good. Alright, now I'm going to make a copy of this model layer in here again by pressing Alt or Option. That will take a copy of it. And put it on top. And then I will change the blending mode of it to lighten. Alright, now I need to delete this part. We're going to use our brush, a regular brush, and black as my foreground color. And also I'm going to make the opacity of the brush to around 35%. And I will make sure that I'm selecting the layer mask. And I will start deleting in here. Alright, so something like that. We're going to go back to the video file and then I will select the line mask of it. And again, I will be using the same method. So I will delete using a black color, so I'm just going to delete this part so can see the eye of the model. Yeah, something like this, it would looks interesting. And also I want to add something in the background. So I'm going to use the same with file that I have in here. I will add it in the background and I'm going to blur it and make it black and white. So I'm going to make a copy of the video file by pressing Alt or Option again. And then I'm going to drag it under this model layer that we have in here. And I will delete the layer mask. So I'm going to right click above the layer mask and choose Delete Layer Mask. And you can see we have the whole video. Now I will go to Image Adjustment and I'm going to choose Black and White. And because it's a smart object, I can apply the adjustment in it as a smart filter. Alright, now we have it black and white. So we'll go to Filter and I will choose Blur Gaussian Blur. And I will add around 7 to 10 radius pixel, so I'm going to keep it 9 and I will press OK. And then I will change the blending mode of it to soft light. And I will reduce the opacity to around 50%. And you can also go back to the background that we have in here. Now I will add a level adjustment, so we'll select this first layer. And I would go to Adjustment and I will choose Level Adjustment. And I will choose red and I will add a little bit of colors from this slider that we have in here, so just a little bit. And I will go to the blue channel, they will do the same, add a little bit of colors just like this. I think it looks really interesting. Alright, now it's time for us to animate this. So I'm going to open the timeline in here. If you can't find it, just go to Window and choose Timeline. Alright, now I will one-click on this tiny Create Video Timeline, and this will create it. But as you can see, the video is way longer than the other file except for this level adjustments, which is following the duration of the video. So we can easily change that by just crop it like this. But we're not going to do the same for the video in here. We're going to adjust it alone because it's a smart object. So we're going to open it by double-click on it like this, and as you can see, it will open in a new tab. And I also want to make it loop seamlessly. So this is the right way to do it, to open it in a new tab and then adjust it to wherever you want. And then save it because it's a smart object. And also the video I'm using, as you can see, it will start from the morning and then it will end in night. And because it's longer than 5 seconds, if I just use this first part, you can't see the night part, and I want that. So I'm going to start it from here, I think just right about here. So I will just crop this part like this. And then I will go to the time in here, and I will double click on it, and I will put 5 seconds. And to be precise, it's 5 seconds like this, and I will press OK. Now I will crop it again like that, and now we have 5 seconds. But it won't loop seamlessly. We need to do that. Then I'm gonna create a copy of this video layer by dragging it to the new layer icon. And now I'm gonna select this copy that we just created. And I will go just right about the middle, just right about here, and I will cut it. And now we have 2 parts, so now we know that the last frame of this part will match the first frame of this part. So I'm going to select this part and put it to start from the beginning. And I will do the same for this second part, it will start from the end. And then I will go to the middle of this part just right about here, and I will crop it just like that. And I will do the same for this other part in here. I will go just right about the middle and I will crop it. And now I'm going to add a fade transition in the end of this part and a fade transition in the beginning of this part. So I would go to this transition icon and I will take this fade and I will drag it to the end of this part. And we'll do the same for the beginning of this part. And now if I preview it by one click on display button, you can see it will loop seamlessly, as you can see. Alright, now I will close this tab and I will make sure to press yes to save the changes in the smart object. And now we have the time matching with every layer in here. So let me put the time to 5 seconds, and now we can preview it and see it in action. And as you can see, it looks really good, so now it's time for us to save it. So we'll see how to save it as a GIF format, and we're going to also see how to save it as a video. Then I will go to File, Export, and I will choose Save for Web Legacy. So we're going to see how to save it as a GIF format. So we're going to wait for it to progress. Alright, so it finished progressing now. As you can see, it's a really large file. And if we save it like this, it would be around 53 megabytes, which is really not good for the web. So the preset that I'm using here is, of course, you need to choose a GIF format or GIF format. And for the color algorithm, I have in here perceptual selected and diffusion in the second one. And just keep everything else the same and click Save. And give it a name, and I will click Save. Alright, now let's go and preview the GIF that we just created. So I will open it, and there we go, we have a really good GIF format that is ready for the web. Alright, now let's see how to render it as a video. So again, I will head to File, Export, and I'm going to choose Render Video. And I will give it a name first and just select a folder. So I'm going to select the same folder in here. And for the format I'm using is H264. And just keep everything in here the same and click render, and again, we're going to wait for it to progress. Alright, now let's go and see our video, which is this one, so let's play it, and there we go. We have a really good double exposure animation that is ready for Instagram. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed and you liked this tutorial and it was a little bit helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching MS Studio.